Hey guys, I wanted to talk about my current work in progress, my current novel that I'm working on now, since I haven't really talked about any sort of progress I've made since finishing the first draft of my second novel. So I just wanted to talk briefly about the story, and I think that talking about it will help keep me uh, motivated and interested in writing. And the more I think about the story, the more ideas come, and then the more, I guess, inspired I'll be to write. Because sometimes, for myself, I get too bogged down in a lot of other things, reading other books. But the title of the book is called Teoin, and it's named after the protagonist. So Teoin is a 15-year-old boy who lives on the island country of Saint Lucian, and he lives in the capital city called Maya. And I wanted to explore um, parts of fantasy that really haven't really been explored too much, at least from my limited knowledge. I watched a video by Brandon Sanderson, and he was giving a lecture on how to brainstorm and how to come up with different ideas, and how in fantasy the way to make your story stand out is to pick a certain number or a few select things that are really unique to your story and really emphasize those things. I think he termed it world builder's disease, where people try to become like Tolkien and create these very elaborate, very comprehensive worlds, languages, cultures, and if you want to do that, that's fine. But he was saying how a lot of people write like generic high fantasy books, and it's really important to make your story stand out and not have like not only a unique story, but also have a very unique setting and backdrop and all these other things, unique characters, obviously. So one thing he talked about was his students were giving suggestions on what topics could be explored, and some of them were education, and some of them were religion, and then other one was like government, politics, things like that. And because I'm interested in all of those things, I decided to create this world of St. Lucian. And there are a whole lot of different things that kind of came into it, but basically the backdrop of the story is that everyone on this island country worships and belongs to one particular, I guess, religion. And what they do is that they believe in this deity named Ma. And so Ma is like a generic word for God, just like Allah is a generic word for God. So they believe in this deity called Ma. And on this island or this country, they have a caste system. And then the highest part of the caste system are the priesthood, and they are the ones who are closest to Ma, and they are above the government, and then below them are like academics, and then skilled workers, unskilled workers, and so on. And Teoin, his family, they are in the lower caste. And the whole idea is that thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, your ancestry, what they did in relation to obeying Ma, is it dictates how which caste that you were born into. So the legend or the myth or story is that if you were born into a lower caste, it's only because of what your ancestors did. And once you make things right with Ma, then she will pour out her blessings for that particular family, and then whoever goes after them will be born into higher caste, and you will be reunited with your loved ones after that in the afterlife. So The way to do that is that there's called a entrance examination, and you get to take this entrance examination once in your lifetime when you turn the age of 16. And when you turn 16, then you take this examination, and then the people who, or the kids who get the highest scores, they're in the lower caste, they are given a opportunity to join this priesthood. And that is a sign, or a so-called sign, that's been given by Ma to indicate that they've reconciled all their past ancestral debt, and now they are now a chosen one. So the problem is where Teoin comes into this whole story is that he's one of the smartest, brightest, most talented academically kids around, but he hates it. He doesn't care about academics. He doesn't care about joining the priesthood, because to him something seems really off about the whole religious thing about it. Why that this Ma character would, condemn all these people and then make them suffer in these lower castes, and then, it's just by chance that they were born to take this examination to join this priesthood. So he feels that there's something really off with the whole system. He doesn't know what it is, but it's off. And so I really wanted to write a story that took place like on a tropical island, so to speak. And I was really fascinated with the idea of like pirates. So in my story, the misfits or the outcasts of the story are the people who don't really get along with or who don't really enjoy living in Maya, or who don't really enjoy the day-to-day, the mundane, the jobs, the normalcy of life, are called seekers instead of pirates. And so they are the ones who live outside of the main city Maya. You can only afford to live in the major cities if you have enough money, obviously. So if you're in the lower caste, then you can't live in there. And so this entrance examination is coming up, and Teoin is just super brilliant, and he doesn't really care, but his parents are really gung-ho about him trying to, give him a better life, obviously, and also save their family and their ancestors, because that's what they believe in this religion, in this culture. And it's he wants to somehow leave the island, and so he comes across this book called Autobiography of a Seeker by this seeker named Captain Ursula. And she is the captain of the Crystal Ankh ship. And every solstice, seaborne seekers, when I say seaborne seekers, I mean seekers who have left the island, who have started their own cruise, have left on their ships to explore different worlds or countries or lands, masses, whatever. And so every solstice, winter and summer solstice, they have this gathering of seekers, kind of like a Comic-Con, so to speak, or a VidCon or a BookCon or whatever, a convention of seekers. But it's not really a convention. But they seekers from all around St. Lucian, not just Maya. They come to Maya because Maya is the biggest port, biggest harbor, and people come in from from other countries, from from their explorations on their ships, and they come and they share all their experiences, and they come and share all the things that they found, the people that they've met, the places that they've seen, all these things. And so this summer solstice event occurs on Teoin's 16th birthday, 1 week before the entrance examination. And he goes to this event, and then he meets his idol, Captain Ursula. And she has just returned from a voyage, and the only reason that she returned was because a lot of her men, or men and women, a lot of her crew became sick, and so they come back and they need more equipment. And now they are looking for recruits, new people who want to come on this voyage to find this mysterious treasure, gold, called the Kundalini treasure. And it's on this faraway island, and it's even mentioned in their sacred text. And so they're trying to find this Kundalini treasure. And so Teoin obviously wants to go, and his incentive to go is not just getting away from Maya, getting away from society, but his younger sister, Phoebe, has a life-threatening disease. I think it's called the Icharias, I forget what it's called. But basically, she has to keep on, she's being prescribed this type of medication. But in order to really put the disease into remission, she has to undergo this unique operation, and she has to take this very specialized medication. But both of these things are very, very expensive, and so her family, or Teoin's family, can only afford just the monthly basic prescription drugs or medications so that she can survive. And so he figures that if he joins this crew of seekers, he can not only get off the island, but he can also find this Kundalini treasure, and he'll have enough money for both his family and his sister to, live a better life. And so he's in conflict with trying to go, to stay, and a lot of things happen. Like I want to explore a lot of different themes where, the grass is greener on the other. It's always greener on the other side. He sees a lot of things that he didn't expect. A lot of the things that he read about people who he thought he knew through books aren't exactly the people that they aren't exactly the people in real life that he thought they were. And his whole perspective on the culture of Maya changes once he learns the truth, because the whole concept of the caste system was based off of this interpretation of this one particular sacred text. And the origins of the sacred text are actually on the island in which they go to find this Kundalini treasure, and he learns the correct interpretation and learns that the whole culture has been basically brainwashed, has been controlled, and they're just in this fake reality where only the hierarchy have the truth, and a lot of people are being led astray, kind of like dumb sheep. It's because they don't have the information. And so it changes, he goes through a lot of interesting things. And so, yeah, I'm on, I think, chapter 8 right now. I don't want the book to be extremely long. I think the second novel, Dymitri Malik in the Fourth Layer, that was 150 some thousand words. But because I'm so passionate about that particular series, I wanted to write something in the interim to really hone in my writing skills, because right now I don't feel like I'm a good enough writer to do that series justice. And so this particular book, I just wanted to explore different themes, different writing styles. This is my first time writing in first person, so it's actually been very interesting trying to get inside my character's head and write from his perspective. And it's a really fun process. I love writing so much, and it's really even more so enjoyable not writing with the expectation of getting published, not writing with the expectation of selling so many copies or being recognized, whatever. It's just I love creating worlds. I love creating content in this way. I love sharing that with people. If they like it, that's fine. If they don't like it, that's fine too. It's just I just love creating, and I think that's what I love doing. So that's why I do it, for the pure joy of it. So I want this book to be around 60 some thousand words, and hopefully I want to write another book before I write book number 2 in my Dymitri Malik series. So that one I think is going to be more of a contemporary novel, because his past 2 have been fantasy. But we'll see. I don't know, whatever I feel inspired to write, I'll write. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, this introduction to I guess, my work in progress. And I will talk to you guys next video. Much love.